So let's add something to this scene. Let's grab a tree. Don't know. High. That'll do. Oh. That's pretty magnificent. Okay, so let's scale that down a bit just to stay sane. Okay. So say you have some cool assets. This is cool because it gives like depth to the scene and stuff, but it kind of gets in the way in certain areas, you know. Okay, so let's make. We want to know if we are occluded, is a special term for that. So now we're occluded, now we're not occluded. Occluded just means hidden in some way, basically. So what we want to know is if the player is, if from the camera's point of view, if we go all the way forwards towards the player, do we hit something else in the way? Okay, so that microchip is just sorting out, putting logic at the camera position every frame. So that's fine. Now we want to actually do the stuff we were going to do. So first let's have a target. Like that. Actually, we'll do this the other way around. So there's a couple of ways we're going to try and do this. First, we're going to have like an icon or some sort of visible thing that appears even through this tree, but only when the character is behind it. So let's try that. To do that, we're going to use a laser scope and couple it with a tag. So we'll have that, just call it cam for now, and we'll have that point at cam. So now if we grab that, it's pointing at the cam. And if we move it around, it points at it no matter where the laser scope is. So we want the laser scope, we want to know if like we can see maybe the body. Let's make it the chest or something. So let's grab the grid and we'll press L1 and triangle on the puppet to get a grid there. Then we'll grab this and move it and press triangle, and now it snaps to that grid. And we can put it somewhere, there we go, close to the chest. We actually want it, so we'll put it in front of the chest, and we will need to give it a lot of distance to make sure it can reach the camera. Okay, and we will put this in the camera. There it is. So now it's in the camera, and because we put this chip in the center of the cube, then that tag is in the center of the cube, that tag's position that it uses. So for testing, let's this is the hit something, so if it hits something, then that's what we want. We want it to say if it hits this cube, I think. So we'll give this a special tag. We'll something cool you can do is tell it to use all selected, so it has to have all of the labels that you've turned on, otherwise it won't consider it a hit. So we'll call it something more complex like scenery machine target. Scenery machine target. So now it'll only say that it's hit something if it hits this sculpture. And it's invisible, so we'll just do that. Turn X-ray mode off. Oh yeah, for testing we need to actually hook that up so that when it's hit something it'll show us that little symbol. So it's hitting the camera now. So if we look away, yeah, that'll be a problem. That's a problem because what's happening is, if I just position it again, it's still pointing towards the camera, but it's going through the puppet because the puppet's got his back to it. So what we want is, I think for now I'll just have multiple of these. The grid, and just position it on the back for now. That'll do. But you can do this in various ways. So if it's either of them have hit something, so now even if you turn around, that's fine. But when you're behind the tree, then it's hitting stuff. That's interesting. Oh, I think it's... Oh, I know what it is. It's hitting... it's hitting this thing. So we want it to be able to distinguish between them. Let's see what we have here. So because we're not using X-ray and we want to hit stuff in between... Oh, one easy way would be actually to do it the other way around. So if we hit scenery, then we know, and it's visible, we don't care if it's collidable. So we'll leave that and we'll tell this that it is scenery. So we'll turn on scenery and see if that works. So now we'll make sure both of them are the same. Scenery, and turn those off. X-ray mode is fine. Visible. Okay. Oh. So now it should only appear, yeah, while we're behind the tree. There we go. So that's working. So now we'll have something actually display. So we'll turn that off. And we'll just reuse that actually. So what we want is for it to face the camera, always on top, so that we can see it through the tree. And where's we want this down there? First we'll turn that off, and we'll have the grid on. Allow rotation. That okay, let's triangle it so get it to align properly again, and then rotate it. Oh, that's better. It's still wonky. I don't know what's going on, but we put that in the chest, something like that. And we'll turn down the opacity of the text so we just have this white block. And now we'll turn on face camera. What's going on? Let's move that up again. And then move across. That will do, I think. Okay, so now... Whoa! So now when we're behind the tree, we get a little icon to show us where we are still. So you can imagine in like some game you have high walls or something, you can still see the character while they're behind those walls. So, oh, where is it? In here. So you might want to make it not have a border. And if you give it a texture and a non-zero texture strength, then you can have this fade amount. Let's scale it up like that. So now we have this kind of ghostly dot. Ooh. Something like that. And you could like fade that in and make it less opaque and do whatever you like with it.